Welcome to the end of the Ancient Gods Part 1. We're back in Urdak. We've got the Dark Lord's Life Sphere. Now what?
My God. Everyone, evacuate now!
Assuming you want to use that orb to go to Urdak, right?
This is an emergency. Please evacuate the facility now.
So long as you have a life sphere, you can get through to Urdak. Your portal signature will read like you're one of them. Listen, whatever we do, I'm in. You want to wake the devil not so you can help the demons, it's so you can kill their leader once he's taken physical form. And that'll destroy all of them, for good. Right? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. I just want to be part of this. I mean, we're about to save the world. Dark Lord has only ever been written about. He's like a decillion years old and hasn't actually even been conjured into any kind of physical form for that long. Nobody even knows what he looks like. So, like I said, I'm in.
Portal coordinates set for Urdak in the 6th region of the Equestrian Hold.
All right, ready for launch, Doom Guy. I'm sorry.
Aiden's files were extensive, and the Ark recorded all of it. The Dark Lord can't be killed until he takes physical form. They're going to have to accept you because anyone who earned the right to acquire a life sphere in the swamp are free to pass through into the Luminarium and insert whichever sphere they have. Effectively, you could awake anyone in there and they'll actually have to help you do it.
The intern has grown so much. He is now like the only human who seems to be able to keep his cool with the Doom Guy present. He's all hyped for anything Doom Guy's doing. That's kind of sort of what you were getting at in one of the earlier parts.
He has faith in Doom Guy. The Doom Guy has done nothing but right.
No.
What a fucker.
Another new enemy. This is the Bloodmaker. Yet another Marauder type enemy where you have to wait for their weak point. They'll shoot beams at you, but once they go up to do a stronger attack, they become vulnerable, and then you can headshot them to kill them. Kind of, I'm kind of tired of enemies that are designed like that. Part 2 has a few of them, and I'm like, the Doom Hunter is such a good mix of, like, yes, he has weak points and you can make him more vulnerable, but you can always attack him. Having too many enemies like the Marauder just kind of makes them more annoying, rather than just kind of a special event like the Marauder used to be.
Yeah, that's actually kind of my issue with the Marauder, personally, and just like that stuff in general, is I hate having to wait to hurt an enemy.
I didn't mind it so much when the Marauder was the only one, but now we have the Bloodmaker, and again, a couple more enemies in Part 2 are like that, and now I'm just kind of tired of that.
Yeah, I don't know, it's my general stance, like, not just this game, but on a lot of stuff in general, I don't enjoy having to wait.
Especially on regular enemies. Like, bosses can sometimes get a pass, but...
The demons now move freely through this world. Without the Khan Maker, and since the awakening of the Icon of Sin here, the seal has been broken.
That's Vega. You left him here on your last mission.
So the father cannot take physical form anymore, but his spirit is still alive, and now he's communicating with us directly again. Whether he has memories of being Vega, I'm not sure.
I would think being the father, omnipotence might be part of the deal.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Omniscience, yeah.
But then again, he did become Vega so that he could keep an eye on his creations on Earth, implying that he couldn't do that from Urdak. So maybe... I don't know what's going on in the father's mind right now. He doesn't seem to entirely understand what we're doing. Again, just Hell Knights. Give me something else. I mean, not after I kill the Hell Knight, but, you know, some other time. Give me something else.
Yeah, another possessed Baron. That's what you like, right?
Oh yeah, they're a hoot. You know, enemies never really feel like bullet sponges in this game. Because, I mean, they still get staggered and react to your attacks. I think that's the big difference between, like, having a shooter where an enemy just has a lot of health versus them just being a bullet sponge. Because Thorn, when you and I played Wolfenstein Youngblood, that was one of my problems. You just kept fucking shooting the big enemies until they fell over. There wasn't any moment of respite in that. Oh. Fall ass backwards. Also, I'm down to 1 life, so this is a bit worrying.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I like how now you're worried about lives.
Well, yeah, I'm not 100% confident in my ability to beat these anymore. I played the main campaign enough to fucking... Like, this is only my 2nd playthrough of the Ancient Gods. The LP of the main campaign was my 3rd playthrough of that.
No, it's your 2nd playthrough of the Ancient Gods, technically, but your 1st playthrough is before they changed things up.
You know, good point. My 1st playthrough was harder. Mostly, actually.
Harder, but also played differently.
Yeah. There's one point coming up where it was tweaked in a very different way, and I will get to that here soon. Oh, there's still a tyrant. I did not even notice while I was fighting that marauder.
Story of my life.
Despite being 20 feet tall, everyone forgets I'm there. That's pretty much the story of Kellum from Fire Emblem Awakening. He's this dude in this huge armor, but no one seems to notice him.
Kind of like Bane in the Harley Quinn cartoon.
That sounds funny.
Nobody respects me.
Oh, does he talk like Dark Knight Rises Bane?
Yeah, of course he does.
Oh, great.
Oh, God.
I mean, in Arkham City, Bane had like a Mexican accent. But then again, I think that was before Dark Knight Rises, come to think of it.
Yeah, also, he'd had that kind of thing going on for a good while. I forget what one it was, but one of the cartoons... he even stated, like, the way he avoided having his mind read is he'd just read off soccer scores.
I need to watch the animated series, because I remember watching Batman and Harley Quinn, which is not a very good movie. And I was like, I should probably watch the actual show. I'm sure it's much better than this, and it's like animated in the same style, despite the fact it came out like just like 4 or so years ago.
Yeah, it feels like the DC movies very much more in quality than the individual shows.
Yeah. I mean, they still make a lot of cartoon movies, so I don't know how good like all the other ones are. Just that one I saw I did not like. It didn't really have an ending, weirdly enough. It just kind of stopped. So it was interesting. It had a more mature sense of humor than the actual Batman animated series did. So that was at least interesting, to have a few swearing and masturbation jokes.
Hell yeah! Talking about jacking it.
Talk about Joker in it.
God damn it.
That's why they call him Mr. J.
Mr. J.O. Oh, here's something different. A possessed cyber mancubus. Now it takes a lot more to take out his armor. I mean, I did it. It feels like it should take more, honestly.
That's a really good shot.
Just looks like there was an eel caught in the screenshot.
Well, later, I guess. This is awkward.
Bye. Got a good look at the spirit there, too. It's pretty much just the summoner.
It is straight up the summoner.
Alright, very happy that some more enemies spawned here, because I was out of super shotgun ammo, and the Slayer Gate is right around the corner. The final Slayer Gate of the entire DLC, actually. Part 2 does not have the Slayer Gate. It has something similar, but not actual Slayer Gates.
That weird head crown that it has, it feels like there's a lot of creatures and things in just this last decade that are made to look like that.
Oh yeah, it kind of looks like some kind of like Aztec statue or something. That's what it reminds me of, anyway.
You know, this looks more like a blood swamp than the blood swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's red, I guess. It's got that Urdakian, like, architecture, though.
Urdak!
Okay. So we're about to go into the Slayer Gate. There's a big story behind this Slayer Gate. So when the DLC was first released, it was stupidly, ridiculously easy. And I remember feeling that way. Like, I played this Slayer Gate, I had no trouble at all with it, despite the fact I was dying constantly through the rest of the level. So I was not alone in that. It was really easy. So, then they went a little too far. I'll point out the changes as they come. First, they added these 2 archvials. That's fine. But essentially, the first change they did was way too hard, so they changed it again with the most recent update. They kind of mixed things around instead of totally changing anything. Those 2 archvials were apparently on opposite sides of the map before, which made them incredibly difficult to deal with. Having 2 archvials at once, especially as the opener, is still not easy, but at least like having them next to each other, you can more easily deal with them.
Gird your loins and cover your nuts, because they're in for a kicking.
Yes. Don't get me wrong, this Slayer Gate, as it stands, is still really, really, really hard. This is my first time actually playing it, too, because I had only had experience with the easy original one. So they also added 2 Doom Hunters at the same time. Those were at least always there since the first revision. I think that before they had more Bloodmakers at once, too. And since they're all attacking you and they're not always vulnerable, they were apparently serious pests.
You know, earlier, you glory killed that Archvile, and all you did was, like, grab his hand and kill him. But I thought if you could have more fun with his actual abilities, I don't know, this wouldn't physically make any sense, but, like, say he would go to ignite the ground underneath you, Doom Guy would just stomp the ground to say no, and it would come out of his mouth or something.
I would love that. That's really creative.
I mean, it could even be something as simple as grabbing his hand, shoving it down his throat, and then lighting him from the inside.
Yeah. The fire comes out of the mouth and the eyes.
I want it to be my job to come up with the glory kills. No other part of game development, just come up with the glory kills. And what's left? An imp. I knew it.
From how it sounded, a typewriter.
I think you have to kill these shield guys before the next round, because we're not done yet. Oh no, the Doom Hunter's still alive. Where the hell have you been?
No vibing.
So Torp, I blame you for the summoning of this thing.
What have I? Why is it my fault?
A possessed marauder!
I've done nothing wrong.
That was not originally in this Slayer Gate. Not only that, the original revision had this as well as another marauder at the same time. That sounds ridiculous.
Just a grade A fuck you.
At least it wasn't 2 possessed marauders. But now I kind of want to see that. Like, that's the thing. Like, with this game, you need to set bars and then, like, exceed them. Or at least be curious about what's next. Because now I want to fight 2 possessed marauders, and then 3. I want to just see what that fight would look like.
Yeah, I just want to fucking die.
The possessed marauder actually doesn't feel terribly different. It's just slightly faster, and of course it takes a lot more hits to take down.
It's just faster and more aggressive. The Marauder's got a pretty set pattern is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if being possessed just makes it harder to take out their weak points, the Marauder's weak point is signaled to you, and you can't really hurt him any other way, so what else are you gonna do?
Right. Let me take a look at the specifics for the Marauder's buffs. Let's see, he moves only 25% faster, so it's not quite as noticeable as with other enemies. He takes 34% less damage from splash damage from your rocket launcher, 61% less damage from your super shotgun, 34% less damage from the ballista, 45% less damage from the remote detonator rocket mod, 66% less damage from the lock-on mod for the rocket launcher, 91% less damage from the unmaker, and 34% less damage from your frag grenade. I wouldn't use a lot of those weapons to begin with.
Yeah, some of those are weirdly specific, and it makes me wonder what strats were going on in the community.
Yeah, I mean, 61% less super shotgun damage, that's pretty huge considering how my strategy is anyway. But, actually wait, I think there might be more. Yeah, everything else takes 67% less damage. But hey, we did it!
Yay!
I had to breathe again because that was actually really hard, and I did lose a life on it. But I really wish I would have played it when it was harder. I wanted to see if I could do it.
Want to get punched in the face, I understand.
Yeah. That's how you play Doom Eternal. This is the hard game for people who are not good enough to be good at Dark Souls.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
What, that I'm right?
No, that Dark Souls actually isn't that hard.
Sure. You can have that opinion. I mean, I don't think this game's that hard anymore.
Yeah, I mean, my point is just like, death is cheap in Dark Souls, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm probably completely wrong, but maybe it'd like Bloodborne.
I think I could give it a try. I do have it.
It does move a lot faster.
Yeah, I remember trying Bloodborne once. I was in a bad mood at the time, and I got really mad really quickly, so I quit after a half hour. But I am absolutely willing to try it again.
Yeah, Bloodborne's great. I love it. I love it so much.
I have it on PS4 physically, and it's part of the free PlayStation 4 games you get with your PS5 and PS Plus. A lot of which I don't have, so.
Also, the DLC is very good.
Does it have a swamp?
You know, I don't think it does.
I don't think it does.
Because I always associate Souls-likes with swamps.
I mean, okay, so that's Dark Souls 3's second DLC, which is Swamp City, but...
Is that what it's called?
No, it's called the Ring City, but it's
Oh.
Swamp City.
Okay, got it. Oh! Tentacle City. Shit. The ambient music isn't so much ambient anymore.
Just going to town on that synthesizer.
I don't think we've commented yet on the trees we've been punching.
They're just trees.
They are. I mean, have y'all ever punched a tree? Oh, bye.
I mean, I have.
How'd you like it?
Did feel great.
I bet. Trees tend to be not terribly squishums.
Not just not squishums, the texture's not fantastic on the fist.
Oh yeah, that'll leave a mark.
It depends on how you hit it.
Doom Eternal. Punching trees.
Why are these ones full of metal?
I don't know. Oh god, this pinky sucks. Fighting a pinky on a thin balance beam. It's not very easy, because he'll turn around quick enough. And then you'll fall off. Oh, I'm low on health. I'm just kind of trying to break through its armor at the front, which you can do, it just takes a lot longer.
Let's say, wouldn't it make sense to lure him off?
I don't think he'll fall off. I think he'll stay on that tree.
I mean, even to the very edge of it? Whoops.
I mean, he'll still be facing you.
Yeah, but then you'd have a bit more room to move.
Where do I go?
Where do you go?
Oh.
Oh.
You gotta swing the tree the other way.
I was gonna say, what's the point of putting the actual large marker on the tree if it's already green and cracked? But then, oh, okay. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're looking directly at it too when fighting the pinky.
To my left is a 2-up that I will not be getting, because I don't think I even see it.
That is a tragedy.
It is.
Your worries about lives.
Oh yes, very much so. I only have 2. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, I hate that noise.
Why?
Just like a weird gurgling.
Jellyfish in a blender.
What sound would you think a tentacled platform that explodes in 5 seconds of being born would sound like? Oh, I forget, I don't know if this was our first encounter with these things, but the whiplashes have grown specter abilities. They've crossbred, I guess. Because that was an invisible whiplash.
You've encountered a couple before.
Yeah, I just totally didn't say anything about it, because, yeah, it's technically new, the Spectre Whiplash, but, I mean, it's just an invisible whiplash.
I was hoping that would happen.
Feels nothing.
And I don't think anything's up there.
Alright, this is an interesting little room. It's got a whole bunch of goodies.
Finally, it's puzzle time.
One of these has a paunchy boy. Where is it? There it is. Paunch. Now the floor becomes electrocuted. And you gotta fight, I believe, a bunch of cacos, yeah.
Just fucking rocket to it.
There's another. Hello, caco boys. Whoa! That was very close. I heard it. Oh, and a pain elemental. All the floating tomatoes and meatballs are here for us. Ugh, right under the eye.
Yeah, just every time you slice around the eye, but not the eye.
Now this time the floor's not electrocuted, but the walls are. And our best friend, Possessed Hell Knight. Beat the shit out of him!
Yeah, you're doing a great job of it.
Then a whole bunch of other shit. Uh-oh. Whew, very close. That time I really needed the Soul Sphere.
Yeah, you were super lucky that was right there.
That was the second Mancubus I've seen in this DLC just do a tumble forward when he died.
He lost his balance. Don't judge.
How can he lose his balance? His gooch is flat.
Sometimes you trip over your own feet.
I was gonna say, sometimes you trip over your own gooch.
I wouldn't know.
I would think of all demons, he would have a much harder time doing that.
One more punch. No enemies, just the platforms just raise. To the way forward.
It's like a little heart attack. Where are they coming from? What's gonna happen?
Now the floor and walls are electrified.
No.
Now the air is electrified. Hold your breath.
God, that sounds terrifying, just constantly having to dash between dash boosters to stay in the air.
Resurrect the Dark Lord. Nah.
Yeah, I don't... Oh, I wanted to get that BFG ammo. Okay. I was like, what am I doing?
Have you used it all yet?
The BFG? I don't think so. I've used the Unmaker a few times against Archviles. Actually, I think I used it just like once or twice. Mostly it's been Unmaker City.
Also, has there been any Crucible ammo?
No,
I don't have it. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering, like, why you don't get the Crucible, but you left it in the Icon of Sin's head.
It is clear that I am what was known as the Father. While I have indefinite access and understanding of this world's systems, I lack the control over them necessary to remove the demons and reseal the void. Without a physical form, I am merely a presence. I have no recollection of myself. I believe my essence from the sphere could return me to my full faculties.
He clearly doesn't know what you did in the swamp. Maybe he thinks you're here to help him.
Ah, my good friend Doomslayer. You're here to help me, aren't you? Oh, we've been through so much, I can feel it.
So proud of you, my son.
I remember talking smack about the Seraphim behind his back with you. Ho ho ho. What a tentacled freak.
That was a very cartoony splat against the wall. Did not expect to get shot there, I guess.
Man, it's gonna be real awkward when we summon the devil here in Urdak and we gotta talk to our dad.
And tell him we killed him.
Oh, perhaps I have lost my comprehension of color. That orb does not look gold. It looks purple. I trust you. Fear not.
Or maybe it's blue and black. What?
I can never tell. I remember when I was a boy, the school uniform said navy pants. I got black by mistake, and they sent me home.
I enlisted in the Navy by mistake.
Oops. I do that every other week. It's okay.
It's just really awkward when you have to swim back every time.
Here we go.
Okay.
Only hit 6 things.
Used it.
I know, and not very effectively.
So proud of you.
Nice. Thank you. You're welcome.
I'm glad you replied to yourself.
It just feels nice to just immediately scope in and kill whatever you're scoping. Oh boy, double Baron party.
Don't Google that.
Oh, wait, is that a third one? Yeah, it was. A triple Baron party. Good lord. They're too beefy to be killed by BFGs.
A tea party of barons.
Earl Grey.
I don't know why. I just imagine them drinking out of boots. Like, otherwise, it's a lovely tea party.
God, how is this only halfway over?
We're more than halfway. This is actually the shortest level in the episode, I think.
At 53 minutes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, just run into those lasers. It'll feel great.
Oh, it does. Feels lovely. So it took me a while to figure out how to get through that. You press this button, and then you gotta shoot that.
Jacob, I got a secret for you.
Yeah?
Gamers don't look up.
Yeah, I know. But I do. I'm no gamer. I'm a gamer with an 8 in the middle instead of an A.
Gatemer.
The gatemer?
A gamer. I love typing it like that. I don't know why. Probably because it doesn't make much sense.
No, you gotta do G4M3R. Like a proper gamer.
Alright, we get it. You're dead.
Gut, heart, brain.
Traumatic.
Blood Slayer.
How do you slay blood?
Just stab a bucket of it, I guess.
Ah, some real cold steel shit is what you're saying.
Sure.
You turn it into blood pudding and go to town on it.
Have you ever seen the video of, like, some scientists are having a viper or something bite a vial of blood and watch it solidify? So just essentially do that.
See, I just think of fucking those cold steel videos where they show off their sweet swords and just a bunch of uncles cutting into various things. Like a sack full of meat with a jean jacket on it, or a boot full of meat,
Full of tea.
or a bucket full of yellow liquid that looks like piss.
Nope, I'm Uncle Cutter. I cut things.
You are here to restore order to my world. With the demons in control, you understand the threat they pose to all my creations.
He doesn't seem to know you have the Dark Lord sphere.
Oh god, a possessed tyrant. You want to know a way to get me to pay attention to a tyrant? Possess it. This fight's really hard, actually.
He's super aggressive.
He's just beating the shit out of me. And there's another tyrant, too.
He was juggling the shit out of you in the air. It was beautiful. It was actually majestic. What a fucker!
Oh god, and of course a carcass. I'm pretty sure that before the rework, there were about twice as many carcasses in this DLC.
Carcasses fucking suck.
Yeah, I got so tired of carcasses playing originally, but I did not get as tired of them my second time through, so I feel like they may have toned down on them. That tickled. Look at how much punishment it's taking.
I love how many times I've heard your health just start making the "your health is low" noise.
Oh god.
Don't you fucking dare.
Bitch. I'll just lay here. Oh, look who's coming. Really wanted to get that spirit out of here. Uh-oh. Oh, don't make me die to the Doom Hunter. Because the Tyrants are absolutely the worst part of this fight. Oh, and a Bloodmaker.
Killed via clipping.
Whatevs.
They just seem kind of non-threatening.
They are, but if you leave them alone, then yeah, they're really annoying actually. Or if you're like overwhelmed by other things that makes it hard to aim at their head. That's when they get more intimidating. When they're combined with other things. I don't know why this room gave me so much trouble on my first playthrough. You grab this, you're completely surrounded by shield guys, which is a pain in the ass. Essentially, this is just a room full of shield enemies. You got your shield soldiers, you got your carcasses, and we're about to have a Doom Hunter spawn as well. I don't know why, I hated this room so much my first playthrough, and second playthrough I'm like, eh. Now I know this one wasn't changed very much, I remember all the parts of it.
And you might not have realized it was a gimmick right away. And also, fuck carcasses.
Yeah. I hate everything with a carcass, including Doom Eternal. Or dead people.
Well, what are the dead people gonna do about it?
Exactly. Fuck them, lazy bastards.
Get up and go back to your job.
Huh?
You came at him from the front, didn't you?
I don't think so. I think it was from the back.
It's always something kind of satisfying with ending like that.
Yeah, just one headshot on a weak enemy. So there's apparently another thing over here that's... I thought that it was mandatory, but it's a completely optional fight, from my understanding. Another gimmick. All these fists are blood punch refills. And the room just floods with pinkies and cyber mancubi, enemies you very much want to blood punch. It's pretty fun. Oh, I'm having a hard time.
I mean, it's a lot.
Bruh, bruh. I'm running out of punch. Wow, that was a great shot.
You should have saved more of your fists.
Just punching pinkies, it's what I do.
Well, then aim for the whole hand. I'm growing to hate that noise. Yeah.
It's one of the few that are, I think, just wholesale reused from Doom 2016. Alright, so behind that door is the final, well, second to final page. So to get to it, you have to progress a bit. Launch through here, and behind you is a button that will open that door. Or unlock it, at least.
Huh.
A secrety secret. Got turned around a bit. All the doors look the same.
Finally, we can choose not to learn about the Seraphim.
I'm just gonna assume he worked at a Chili's.
According to the Korax tablets, if you kill the Dark Lord, any demon outside of their world will be destroyed.
According to the Korax tablets, he actually worked at a Red Lobster.
It's ironic because he's allergic to seafood.
That's how he died. He touched the fish wrong. All right. Let's head into the final room of the DLC. Get all the collectibles. Let's hop in.
Your reckless mission ends now.
All right. Time to take out the Seraphim. Now, this boss is... Oif. Well, you'll see. He starts off like a pretty standard boss. As you can see, his health is draining a lot. He's got several phases. Just focus him with bullets, as well as look out for these eyeballs. They will hurt you if you are in the vicinity of them, and they are very pesky. And they can drain your health very quickly if you don't pay attention.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, so this second phase, or every other phase basically, is he's gonna spawn a couple of possessed enemies, and you gotta deal with them both at the same time. And as you can see, they're pretty tough together. Like a Hell Knight, a Mancubus, whatever, I can take care of them, but both of them pretty much making it impossible for them to be staggered, as well as just having to deal with them both at once. Yeah, it's more annoying than you would think. And once you kill the possessed enemy, as well as the spirit that goes with it, a regular version of that enemy will infinitely respawn. So just focus on the possessed enemies and then destroying the spirits, and then that'll get you past this phase. I'm Doom level 45.
Hell yeah,
Awkward transition there.
I'm just reminded of, like, the images of, like, just many-eyed angels, how they're actually depicted, and just the be not afraid. That's all I can think of.
Seraphim looks pretty cool. I like the purple wings. It makes it very spooky.
What if the angles were the wheel demons?
Be not afraid. I'm just here to possess you and make you stronger.
Okay.
Okay, you got it!
Also, I'm a lion. Roar.
He just says that standing there. Hands in his cuffs.
Oh no. A wheel.
Oh god. Don't, fear not, cacodemons are still threatening. Oh!
Jesus!
Alright, out of lives. Can I do it?
Sure is a shame you didn't get that 2-up.
Yeah, I know. What am I doing? Just run!
You're just kind of dicking around, it feels like.
I mean, the Arbalest instantly kills cacodemons, so I guess that's what I was thinking, but it was already staggered. Sir, you've left your chunks.
Fine, he wasn't using them.
Now there's just a lot to deal with. You got the eyeballs, you got the yellow lasers, as well as some other enemies that are spawning, like Bloodmakers. Uh-oh. Trouble. Oh, no!
And you don't get those lives back.
I'm dead as fuck. Okay, so it respawns you at the beginning of each phase. Otherwise, I would have never finished this fucking game. The Seraphim is the hardest boss in Doom history, hands down. Not even close.
But not even because of the boss itself.
Yeah. I mean, the hardest, like, boss encounter. And this. Ooh. This.
This is some shit.
A possessed Dread Knight? Whatever. Possessed Pain Elemental and a possessed Dread Knight? Okay, yeah, this is... I'm gonna say, this is just harder than it looks. Alright, let's cut to the chase.
Oh, this is a shit show.
It ain't easy. It is not easy at all.
Like, I don't think you're bad at this game or anything. This is just a fucker.
Yeah, these encounters are rough. I think I was just not being aggressive enough. Take out the fucking Pain Elemental, then just fucking radicalize the fucking Dread Knight.
Radicalize?
Sure, that's the word that came out of my mouth.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's what radicalize means. You're right.
I mean, it can. It's really fucked.
Oh.
And that's that.
He was my servant. On my command, he removed me from this place. It is not required that you end his life. Your mission here is now your own. The consequences of your actions here are irreversible. fiercest among them, as only the strongest could rule the demons. It is you, in their world.
My brain is off.
Wow. Sup, bro?
Bum, bum, bum.
That's when I checked out of this plot.
It gets real dumb.
I think the premise there is that the physical form of the Dark Lord is whatever hell perceives as the most powerful and feared warrior they've ever seen. So I guess that's why he looks like you, but it's stupid.
Yeah, I think the idea is just basically hell is ruled through power and violence. And who is more powerful and violent than basically their equivalent than you?
Plus, so much missed potential. Fuck, so many enemies have such cool designs. The makers look so cool. But Satan is just a dude. He somehow looks a lot less threatening when he's evil than when he's the Doomslayer.
Because he's naked.
He's nude, and no one's afraid of nude people.
The Doommaker.
So yeah, that was the Ancient Gods Part 1. I thought it was great. It was very fun to play, very challenging still, even with its changes. Is it necessary playing? I don't know. If you finish Doom Eternal and want more of it, absolutely. I don't think you're missing a whole ton without it, but it's fun. It's a good time if you like the main campaign.
I don't know. You're checking out of the story? I think I'm finally into it now.
Yeah? You like this twist?
Oh no, I'm reading the wiki.
Oh no. I want that to be like the last line somebody says in a horror movie.
I'm reading the wiki.
The creepypasta wiki or whatever.
Wiki pasta.
Look, what better way to find out how to defeat the horror creature than just looking it up online?
I feel like that would be a plot point in a modern horror movie. It's just rumors posted on the wiki rather than confirmed. Like, we've tested this.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Don't mind me going to the paranormal board on fucking 4chan to find out about this cryptid, only to get called slurs.
That's just to keep me grounded.
So, that's the end of Part 1. Part 2 is actually not as hard. A lot of people were disappointed. Part 2 is not actually all that difficult.
I think we've already learned why the response to the feedback, let's call it, about Part 1, and hence why they stripped down a good chunk of Part 1 and clearly went into Part 2 with the mentality of, like, Part 1 was too much. We gotta back up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's still more challenging than the main campaign, but it's not nearly as hard. It's not nearly as ridiculous as Part 1 can get. What it introduces is also interesting. Like, I think that it's safe to assume that it was more rushed because it came out very close to the 1-year anniversary of Doom Eternal's release. I imagine that was like a deadline. And a lot of what it adds, a lot of like the new enemies and stuff is mostly just kind of reskins of existing enemies, but with different attributes. So it's a very different experience. I think Part 1 is better, but Part 2 is still really cool and adds some very interesting things. And you get to fight the Dark Lord for what that's worth.
Eh.
Yeah.
The dark guy.
Right, but see you in Part 1 of Part 2 coming next week, everybody.